New X, new X, new X, new X, new X on me right. I might spin it, 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 New X, new X, new X, new X, new X on me right. New X, new X, new X, new X, new X on me right. I might spin it, 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 Elephant way that you in the front, Jackie Chan way I do all my stunts. Lay the wood like I'm laying a bunt. Misunderstood, you can call it a bluff. Ayy, run up digits, I might spin it on a brand new ride. Palm is itching, cash is in it by the end of night. MCM, I'm not talking about crush. Back on me, I don't mean to be blunt. Stay low, keep it all in the tuck. Telling stories, yeah, your life is a crutch. Ayy, you been lying, you been trying, you can't live this life. You been praying on my downfall, see it in your eyes. New X, new X, new X, new X, new X on me right. New X, new X, new X, new X, new X on me right. I might spin it, 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 I might spin it,
Yo, what up, what up, what up, people? TTA in the building. What's good, y'all? Let's see here. Man. So last week we talked about currency correlations, and basically we talked about what correlates with GBP USD. If you can't find a trade setup with GBP USD, let's say that's your favorite pair, and you're having a hard time finding, the entry for it, the timing. So we can go to USD CHF, which is the opposite. All right. And then we can see when the trade is about to happen over there. And when that trade happens, because it may be easier to see the trade set up on USD CHF. But you're not going to trade it though. You're only looking at it to time the entry for GBP USD, currency correlations. So we talked about the opposite. We talked about the opposites last week, as far as USD CHF, looking at trade setups and timing it. So today I'm gonna point out some things that happens over and over in the market in this class, over and over in the market. History repeats itself in regards to Fibonacci, supply and demand zones, and then things that you can count on happening over and over. All right, we're gonna talk about it. Things that you can count on happening over and over and over in the market. All right. Trend line breaks, supply and demand getting touched over and over. All right. Eventually that's going to turn into support and resistance, but it first starts out as supply and demand. Price hitting golden zones. That stuff happens over and over. And we're going to talk about it. But before we get into it, I want to shout out to a few people in the TTA. What's up, Daniel? Daniel, what's good, baby? It's always good to see you. Imani in the building. So sorry that I couldn't meet y'all in North Carolina, but maybe one day we can just make that happen. So I appreciate all the team that's out there in North Carolina. It's I forget everybody's name. Let me see. I think it's Josh out there. I forget everybody's name, but shout out to all y'all that was with Joe out there in North Carolina. Hey, Dan said, before we start, please confirm laptop charge, phone charge, Wi-Fi working. Oh my God. Man, look, they said they fixed all of it. So my Wi-Fi is plugged in. My phone is fully charged. The Wi-Fi, I got to leave it up to Xfinity. They said they got it working though. What up, Key? K-Deuce in the building. A lot of people picking K-Deuce to win. I don't know. They liking K-Deuce. His joint was fired. I saw a lot of K-Deuce pop up for the win. I don't know what's gonna happen, but my wife is gonna count the votes A lot of people had Armani too. A lot of people, I saw K Deuce and Armani pop up a lot. I saw D the Prophet too. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's gonna be a close one. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, what's up, everybody? Malik in the building. So all my YouTube people that's watching, all my YouTube family that's on here. Hey, I wanted to. I'm back. I wanted to show a little bit of love. You guys, I might can't keep this rolling the whole session. For those who don't know, this is my class for Trend Trading Academy. This is my regular Tuesday intermediate class, and we go in. All right, we go in. Let me see. Hey, Daniel, how we do it? How we do it in TTA, man? You can unmute if you want to, man. Let them know. But this is a regular class, so I just want to open it up, just a little portion of it, give some value, and then we're gonna get back to the class and everything. So, but we talking about currency correlation. So also, team, don't forget, if there's any new people here, we send out the trades setups every day, Monday through Thursday. This week is a lot of news, but trade setups are going out Monday through Thursday for London session, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern. We sending them out and we getting paid. So, let's see what else. Oh yeah, anybody that have questions for this class, ask them in the Q&A. Do not ask them in the chat. Ask them in the Q&A on this Zoom call. Okay. And then I can get to your questions because I will not see them if it's in the chat. All right. Thanks, Dan, man. The hats will be going up soon. These are just samples I'm rocking, but they looking good. I made some minor adjustments, but they looking good. Yes, sir, Daniel. Yes, sir. We do this. All right, cool. So let's get to it. So we talked like last time, we talked about GBP, USD in correlation with USD CHF. Now, USD CHF, that's a good opposite. But an even better one is Euro GBP. Now, after this is up, we need to dive in and see which one during the seasons to follow to match up as an opposite with GBP USD. When would USD CHF come into play? You know what I mean? Like maybe if something is going on with gold, for an example, when coronavirus was happening, COVID-19 and stuff was happening, maybe USD CHF wasn't one to look at. You know what I mean? So we got to pay attention to that stuff, the details of it. So we got to know when to use these opposite. We can't just pick a random pair and say, let me just use this as the opposite. No, it's like it might not be time for that pair. It's like a couple of them. So today we're gonna look at Euro GBP. Last time we looked at USD CHF. This time, today we're gonna look at Euro GBP, how it stacks up against GBP USD, currency correlation. And the reason why we got to do this is because we got to be sharp. We need to know as much as we can without sacrificing, our basics, our foundation. We don't want to mess with our foundational teachings because then you're going to confuse yourself. So we're just building on our foundation, what we've been teaching you all year long. All right. So, yeah, that was in reference to the contest. Yep. So yeah, we just trying to build. All right. Anytime that you start learning something that's going to start jeopardizing your foundational teachings, I mean, you probably got to toss it because, what we do works 80% of the time. And we're just trying to learn more to build on it so we can trade different setups. We can trade different type of ways, like different times, and different times of the day. We might even trade, might not just trade London. If you see Euro GBP about to set up on something and it's New York, you can comfortably trade New York because you see you got something to compare it to. I'm about to show you something right now. Let me show you. First, any questions? If you got any questions, comment. Shout out to all my YouTube people that's watching. I'm gonna let y'all hang with me for a minute, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But shout out to all my YouTube people. I love y'all. That's my YouTube family. All right. I say YouTube people, my YouTube family. Get it right. So let's dive into the charts right quick. So let me first ask you this. What does divergence mean, team? What does divergence mean to you? What does it mean to you? Divergence. What does that mean to you? So they said momentum shift, indicator showing loss of momentum. Opposite to trend, price moving against, price is the opposite thing. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I want you to, some people would think, okay, I see divergence happening, and they spot it right then and there, and they just try to get a jump on it. And get an early entry for the RSI divergence. And they see price making lower lows, but the RSI is making higher highs. So they see divergence happening. It's the opposite. So it's not how we do it. I see like a loss of momentum. To me, it's like, hold up. Let me stop trading this. Let me sit on my hands for a minute, pull out the trend line, and wait for it to break. And those are going to be your most powerful wedge pattern breaks that you can find. Let me just show you an example right quick. I'm about to screen share my chart. Yeah, my people on YouTube said same thing, shift the momentum. That's what's up. So we learning. So all right, let me share the screen here. I believe you can see that. All right. So we got this big downtrend. Somewhere in here is the divergence happening to let you know that the shift is coming to the upside. All right. So somewhere in here is the divergence. So all you do is just pull out the RSI indicator, simple. And there it is right there. All right. I was taking a look at this, and the market is making lower lows. You got to go back and trace it. All right. Let me delete it. Look, you got to go back and trace it. All right. So from here to here, right? Look at this. From here to here, it's always a new trader being born every day. So it's a new trader born every day. There's always new people coming to learn how to trade. So you can't ignore them either. So look at this. So for my people that's new, this right here looks like it's even. Right? That's making lower lows. You just got to keep walking it back. Keep walking it back and find not the foundation, but like the origin. Find the origin of where the divergence started. And so now you see it starting back here. So you just keep walking it back until you find it. So now price is making lower lows, but the RSI, why the RSI isn't making lower lows? Why isn't the RSI making lower lows? Because people are taking profit. I don't know who it is. I don't even care. Really, pretty much it's the, hedge funds and people with big money. So people just taking profit with big money. All right. And they taking profit at key levels. So that's where you should stop trading though. When you see the divergence happening, you should stop trading it. It's like 3 other pairs you can trade. If I'm trading Euro GBP, which I probably would never trade, but if I'm trading GBP USD, which I always trade, and I see divergence happening, that's a no trade day until I figure out what it's doing next. Until it makes its move, it's a no trade day on that pair. I might go to GBP or something like that. So what I was saying was, this is how you're going to find the biggest wedge, like the best. These are like the best wedge patterns you can find. You see the wedge happening here. This part I'm gonna put as a dotted line. That's the divergence with the indicator down here. Don't forget the indicator down here. And let me see if my mouse is working. Yep. So they say the question is, do you measure from wick to body? From wick to body. And that's not a black and white answer. That's a gray area, because really it just depends on if you want to be more aggressive or you want to be conservative. That's all it is. That's all it is. So you just have to find out what you like. Are you more aggressive with the trend lines on the wicks, or are you more conservative? You know, so it's just up to you. But that's what that comes down to. All right. Sometimes you need to be more conservative, because if you have the trend line too close on the bodies, you may get faked out. That's going to come with just learning from, keep coming to class, asking me, seeing how I mark up this stuff, and you can pick my brain with that. Also, that's going to come down with experience too, because once you put them too tight and you start getting faked out, you're going to obviously see, like that's not working for you. So you put them on the wicks, and then you avoid getting faked out. All right. But at the end of the day, you have to practice this stuff and see when the timing, get the timing of it, when to do wicks, when to do bodies, because I do both, but I just put them in, I use them. Like I put the trend line on the bodies in the right scenario. You know what I mean? So anyways, these are going to be your powerful wedge breaks here when you have it with divergence. All right. So let me go to this change of direction. So Malcolm said change of direction. So that's what I was saying. That's why I had to go over that, because some people will still think that it's not. Malcolm didn't say that it's guaranteed, because nothing is guaranteed, but Malcolm said change of direction. But I have to say that's not the right answer. You can say potentially change of direction. Potentially, you gotta put potentially in your mind, because if you don't, you're gonna have a bias. So I would say potentially change of direction. You know what I mean? Potentially, it might be it might be really strong. Like potentially, it's gonna happen. Really, but it's potential still. So I would say the divergence really means is like, hold on, pump your brakes, slow down. Stop trading it, maybe take profit, and look for the trend line break, the wedge pattern break. And that's what's going to give you. And that after that point, the change of direction will pretty much be there by the end. Yeah, definitely. Deidre said it's a divergence is like a yellow light or a caution light. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let me go back to the charts right quick. All right, back to the charts. All right, so let's get to the money. So let's say you want to trade GBP USD, all right? You want to trade GBP USD. And this may happen tomorrow when we trade in the morning time. You're trading GBP USD, but you're not seeing your entry. It's like, the timing of it, it's like, this is kind of confusing today. But you don't want to give up on it. Don't give up on it. Head over to EUR GBP, all right, Euro Pound, and start marking up Euro Pound like you're going to trade it. But don't. Mark up, well, if you want to, but you really want to trade GBP USD because it moves faster and get more pips. But don't mark up Euro Pound, but don't trade it. When it starts breaking out, you feel me? When it starts breaking out, then you can look at GBP is about to break out. Let me show you. So I'm about to share my chart one more time here. I got both here. We already marked up Euro GBP. Here it is on this side. Euro GBP is over here. We marked it up. What I'm about to show you, I'm just showing you the rules. You guys need to go back test and try different things and practice what I'm showing you. But I'm just showing you the rules to it. The rules don't lie. All right. I'm not trying to show you what happened and walk you through what happened. We can all look at the charts and see what happened. But I'm pay attention to these rules and the way that I'm thinking. Because the person on YouTube asked me, do you put the trend line on the body or the wicks? That's what he asked me in the comments. So he want to know my thinking. All right. So what I'm about to show you is one of those scenarios. Pay attention to the way that I think about this stuff. That's key. All right. So, all right. So pretty much here on this Euro GBP, we waiting for the trend line to break out. That's simple. We waiting for it to break out. If you're a breakout trader, take it. If you're a retest trader, wait for it to retest. But over here, the sell was not that easy to understand. You know what I mean? For some people, it will be easy. Some people, it won't be. All right. So obviously, this is just a big trend line here. Break the trend line, but not too many people is going to hold it all the way down there. Hold it through all these pullbacks. Hold it through all these pullbacks. So you maybe took profit at the trend line break, and now you're waiting to find another trade. Okay. So let me show you this. Can you see? Let me make my lines bigger so you can see my lines. My crosshairs. Let's see, crosshairs. Can y'all see my crosshairs now? Let me make them. Yeah. So now you can see my crosshairs. All right. So watch this. Let me put a vertical line here. Price broke out of Euro Pound and retested the trend line. All it did was just retest the trend line. Here it is right here. Retested the trend line. Came back, retested. So as it broke out, now you would have had your trade set up over here ready to go, team. But as it's retesting the trend line, GBP USD, you want to look and see what is it retesting over there. Because if price is retesting the trend line on Euro Pound, you can't just wait for a candle to just pull up, a green candle to pull back so you can get in. You got to, like, what is it pulling back to? So over on GBP USD, price is going to pull back to a supply zone. Is price pulling back to something, right? It can't just be just candles moving up and down. Oh, I see Euro Pound, Euro GBP pulling back, and I see GBP USD going up. All right, let me just take a sell. No. What is it pulling up to? It has to pull up to something, right? And in this case, it's pulling up to this supply zone right here. Let me make this bigger for you. Right here. This supply zone right here. right? So price, this is already established and price dropped from here. So you got to understand that you got to mark this supply zone up. And hopefully you remember how we mark up our supply zones. Do y'all remember how we mark up our supply zones? Does the retest happen less on trend lines compared to zones? I would say slightly, yeah. Good question, Dobie. I would say the retest does slightly happen less, but I said slightly. It is a retest on the trend line, but most of the time they don't be deep. They don't go deep. But there is a retest. You just have to go look left and find a zone that is retesting. But deep retests like you see here is rare. But like a couple classes ago, I taught about, look at our videos on the website, how to take the trend line break and wait for the retest. But it does happen a slightly less. Yeah. So the good question, Dobie. Let me see. I'm looking at the comments right quick, right? Got to get them on the same page. Okay. So it's coming back. So that's how we want to do it. Mark up this supply zone. All right. Now here it is right here. So price comes back to this supply zone as you see it coming, retesting this, what is this called? This trend line. All right. You see this trend line right here? And can you see my lines moving at the same time? Let me make my line over here the same way as the other one. I'm showing you facts. I'm showing you facts right now. Nothing that I made up. I'm showing you facts. Look at this. This happens over and over again. This what I'm showing you today is stuff you can count on. All right. Look to the right screen where it retested the trend line that is circled on the right screen here. It's my right. I don't know. It's maybe your left. I don't know, but it's right over here. Euro GBP. At the same time, it's retesting this supply zone over here. All right. We're building on what we talked about last week. Last week, we had some type of trade set up. We looked at USD CHF compared with GBP USD. Boom, boom. Add this to your tool belt. Add this to the toolbox. If you don't see the trade setup happening on the opposite pair, start looking for divergence. Because if you see divergence on one pair, the opposite pair, the correlating pair, is going to be doing the opposite. If the negative pair. So, and remember with correlations, GBP USD and Euro GBP is going to be a negative one. It's going to be on the negative scale. If it was 0, they move the same. If it was +1, then they move. No. If it was +1, then they move the same. All right. And if it was 0 on the scale, on the correlation scale, then it's half and half. Sometimes you might get it matching up. Sometimes you won't. It won't match up. And then -1 on the correlation scale, like GBP USD and Euro GBP, is going to move the opposite. And it can go deeper, -2, all the other stuff, but I'm just keeping it simple. USD CAD is opposite of GU, but are about a 50-60 breakout. Shout out. Thank you, Maya. Shout out to that. Thank you. We got another question. Hey, Jay, can I explain a question I have with audio? It's a little complicated. Okay. So I want y'all to think about what I just showed you. Add divergence to it. Okay. This stuff is going to make us powerful traders, man. I'm about to let this person ask a question about what I just went over. But the stuff that we're learning, we're going to be some outcode traders. Like the brokers going to hate us. The brokers is going to hate us, man. Like as long as we stay disciplined and wait for it, like, geez, we are about to be killing these markets. Like we already been killing the markets, but it's like it's just getting better and better every year. My account is growing. I've been taking a lot out of my account because I'm actually buying a new house. I'm currently buying a new house. My home is not here in Michigan. I don't really want my dream home here. So the house that I'm finna buy is not, I just couldn't go all out. I couldn't take $500,000-$600,000 and just go all out. I just couldn't do that because I do not want to get stuck here. And if I spend that much money on a house, I might just get stuck here. But the truth is, I'm sad here. All right. So I want to go out to the South. So I was blessed to get a loan that would allow me to get 2 homes. All right. And I want to spend about $800,000, $500,000 over there in Texas. That's going to be my dream home. Yeah, Dallas. It may be Dallas, Fort Worth, or Arlington. I don't know, really. Whichever one got the house when I get ready to move. But we've been killing the markets, and I've been blessed to be able to just buy this home. I'm already about to buy it. I just ain't told nobody, but I'm already closing on it now. I'm gonna show y'all. But you know, I didn't want to go all out, but it's really nice. It is nice. It's a real nice house. You know, I ain't gonna get no trash. You know that. But anyways, my one of the team members want to ask a question. Hey, you have to raise your hand. Raise your hand so I can find you. Raise your hand so I can find you, so I can unmute you. Keith John, that wasn't you. There you go. All right, yo.
Yo, Jay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can we talk about GU for a sec?
Yeah.
It's like a 4-hour resistance zone that I wanted to go over.
You want me to show the chart?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me drop the line there so I can see. It's like the line at 1.38776. Where that popped up on the hourly, would you have taken a sell there where it closed back inside the zone when it rejected there for the second time?
Hold on. Show me where we at.
1.38776, like that general vicinity. Do you see how that second hourly candle came up and touched it?
Yeah, this little wick right here.
Hang on, keep going to the right. To the right on the other side of it. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay.
When it closed back inside the zone right there, that was pretty much confirmation it was going to reject that area, right?
Oh yeah, well I would use Robert's strategy. The videos on the Academy, his RSI fake out strategy.
Yeah.
But that would have worked out.
Yeah.
When it so when it closed,
he said he wouldn't have taken that sell, but like I don't know. To me, that seemed like a pretty good opportunity up there, considering it was remounting that 4-hour resistance and it was confirming the daily downtrend.
So look at this. We all under this level here, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the 4-hour, now it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you did say that.
That's why I said the 4 hour.
You did say that. Yeah. Yeah, you did. I just as soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, he just said that. Yeah. Yeah. When you go to the 4-hour, because let me just go to the 1-hour chart. Right here, it's when you only looking at this part, it's kind of like, maybe
you don't know, but like then you jump to the 4-hour and you're like, okay, now I got confirmation kind of thing. Now it's gonna make a big move. Exactly.
And so a lot of scalpers don't go that high. They stay on the hour, 30-minute, 15.
Oh, I always got the 4-hour vision because I'm trying to see wherever it's headed, you know?
Absolutely. And even sometimes during the month, you have to look at the daily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know what I mean? Depending on like if it's the beginning of the month, you got to go to the daily.
Yep.
All right. So when I looked at this, it's like, okay, maybe not, maybe hold off to the 50. But that's just like regular understanding. But if you when I went back, you know, I instantly just gonna go back. Once I saw prices holding at this level here, that I'm like kind of hovering over with my finger with the mouse thing. Once I saw price holding under there twice, already knew that
that second time is super important too. Like, cause you see how like it failed the first time, came down to the lower zone, then attempted again and attempted it again at the top, and then it failed. Like I knew immediately that it was going to plummet and break that other low.
So what it's doing is I call it breaking down. So
yeah,
right here, and then it came back and touched it here, and then right here, it's breaking down. So if it's breaking down on this hour chart, go to the 4 hour. You know what I mean? And
you can see it even better. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the fact that it's underneath, you know, that 50 that's money to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's money. You know, everybody gonna trade it differently. So you know what I mean? Everybody got their own.
I try to for me, I try to find those major 4 hour zones, and those always produce like great trades. So as long as you can like figure out the reaction at the zone, like you're good. It's like plenty of money, you know? Right.
You're right. Absolutely. So what I'm gonna do is now 1 second. All my YouTube family, shout out to y'all. I'm gonna end it right here for my YouTube people because I just want to dive in a little bit deeper with the team. So I'm gonna end it here because I already know it's gonna start glitching after a while. My internet is gonna start slowing down. So let me get off of this YouTube right quick, and I'm gonna get back to